Hey you, yeah you, fan of Metroidvanias? Don't know if you should get Mandragora or not? I will provide some insight to ease that decision for you. Stick with me and by the end of this video you'll definitely know what Mandragora Whispers of the Witch Tree is all about. How are you, my brethren? It's your boy Accursed Shadow here with a long overdue video review of Mandragora Whispers of the Witch Tree. As always, we'll be discussing some pros and some cons with the game just to make you decisive if you want to get the game or not. I played the living shit out of this game and still going strong on it. I'm done with my second playthrough with it, and to be honest, I'm kinda itching for my third one. First things first, gameplay. The game plays beautifully with exploration being at every corner. Of course, there's exploration in it since it's a Metroidvania game and a beautiful executed one at that. Now, I have to say that if Castlevania and Elden Ring had a baby, the result would be none other than Mandragora. You start off by creating your own character with some limited options for appearance from a variety of 6 classes. You got your Vanguard, essentially being the tank of the game, or barbarian, if you will, that specializes in sword wielding and can cause enemies to bleed with abilities like the uppercut. Flameweaver, which is your pyromaniac slash mage of the game, and can attack with fire abilities like the Firebolt. Spellbinder, which is what I'm playing at the moment and am currently enjoying it really much. Spellbinder is a master at chaotic magic that can weaken enemies via passive abilities and can channel one of my favorite attacks in the game, the Chaos Beam, for long-range attacks and damage over time. You can see me wielding the ability itself in the video that I'm currently showing to you. You also have the Nightshade class, which is a stealthy assassin specializing in dual wielding daggers and poison abilities. Then there's the Wild Warden, which essentially is your druid class of the game. He or she, depending on your preference, what you go for at the start of the game, is a nature-focused class that uses natural forces spells like the Wild Vines and ability to push enemies back, or the Chain Lightning ability to do AoE damage. Last but not least, we have our Vindicator class as a Holy Warrior, which puts emphasis on healing abilities and smite your foes into oblivion, dealing damage in an area. There's a total of 660 levels, from my knowledge, to be gained. I'm at the end of my second playthrough and I'm at level 147. That's how long the game is. Once you reach level 25, you can delve in other classes' abilities. So needless to say is the fact that the choosing of your class doesn't really matter at the beginning of the game. You do get to respect your abilities once you progress through the story enough. Respecting costs experience points. The more you respect, the more experience it costs, initially though being for free. You also get your NPCs to purchase stuff from them. And trust me when I say this, there are a shit ton of NPCs in this game. You have your own camp that in itself you can gather your team of NPCs, which are, if I'm not mistaken, a total of 6. Basically, you have to progress through the story enough and you'll eventually unlock them and they'll all gather at the Witch's Tree, which is another way of saying base of operations, so to speak. Apart from those ones, you still kind of get your other NPCs, which are tied to almost every area in the game, that they have their own unique items to sell. Now, currency in the game, initially I thought it would be just gold, but this being a Souls-like game, so to speak, the game itself makes your life a tad bit harder by adding a secondary currency in the game, which is experience. That's right. Some items cannot be bought with just gold. So once you've amassed that experience, the game throws you in this choice system. Do I buy that long desired sword I've been craving for so long? Or do I simply upgrade my character? Which, in my own opinion, it's a really fun mechanic to have in the game. It makes the game that much more interesting, you know? Luckily, you're not stuck at getting XP throughout the game. You have your many areas in the game which you can farm for it. Now, if you do die in this game, it's like with every other Souls game. You do have to walk back to the place you died initially to get all your gathered experience back. Die twice along the way? You absolutely get it. You lose all your experience, which sucks. But it is what it is. You also have shrines to save your progress and level up your character if you so choose to do so. One pro tip from me, which I did not knew from the beginning of the game, is the fact that you do not need to be at a shrine to fast travel. This is something I wish I knew from the get-go, as I could have saved loads of playtime. A mechanic that the game does not bother in telling you at all. I initially thought that it's like with every other Souls game. Fast traveling is restricted only from bonfire to bonfire, shrines being the case for Mandragora. But no, the game allows fast traveling from any point on the map. Now, you do get your New Game Plus after finishing the game, which is a total win in my book. A Metroidvania of this caliber should definitely have New Game Plus. Even more so, this one has multiple New Game Pluses, such as New Game Plus Plus and New Game Plus Plus Plus. Each of them scaling with the appropriate experience gained through each and every one. That being said, loads of variety of gameplay value is offered in each New Game Plus, and for that, the gameplay gets the fair rating of 9.5 out of 10. The only reason I didn't rate it 10 out of 10 is for the fact that after the second playthrough, the game, it gets kind of repetitive, with no addition in other monsters as a tougher challenge. The only challenge is the fact that you get some mobs in the game, but with upskilled health and damage. And that's basically it. Moving forward, the difficulty in this game is simply fair. It doesn't take a toll on your soul like other Metroidvanias, such as Hollow Knight Silksong. Also, at any point, if you find the difficulty to be all that hard, the game lets you take it down a notch by adjusting it from the accessibility menu. You can adjust the enemy health, enemy damage, and the skill stamina cost. All of them can be taken down to a maximum of 40%, which will not hinder the progress of achievements collection at all. The biggest difficulty in this game and challenge would be, as in any Souls game, is gravity itself. I died more often than not due to gravity than the actual mobs and bosses in this game. The difficulty of the game gets a rating from my part of 8.8, only because I do fucking hate getting my ass handed to me due to the stupid gravity mechanic. Other than that, I have absolutely no issues with it. Now, moving on, let's talk about graphics. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. The graphics in this game are something else, for a Metroidvania game at least. The quality of the graphics is really well executed, bringing that third-ish look atmosphere despite the fact that this is a 2D game. Furthermore, the areas are unique, packed with their own atmospheric themes in terms of graphics, which is a total delight for the human eyes. No contest, the developers of the game managed to execute a pretty immersive environment with each section of the map, thus the graphics for this game, from my part, falls nothing over short of a 10 out of 10. With the sound and music, the next section will be covering. The sound of this game is really impressive that truly immerses the players within each section of the game. I found many locations on the map with some quite uniquenesses. Every time I progress a little bit further into the story, I was really surprised, in a pleasant manner, that a certain witch whispered to me, which I'm not gonna spoil for you guys at this point, which had a total soothing and calming tone for me at least. The sound is a 10 out of 10. Music, not being that lucky. The only impact the music of this game gave to me was the main theme of the main menu, which in itself had some whispers in it. And trust me when I say this, I am not a ASMR guy. None whatsoever. Other than that, is just your typical Metroidvania music throughout the areas with nothing special to blow your mind. Thus, the music gets 8 out of 10. Combining music and sound, the overall rate I give it is 9 out of 10. Now, moving to the story section. Without giving any spoilers here, the story in itself is nothing to be blown away by. You start off as this inquisitor, which you do the bidding of this holy priest by hunting witches. The story takes a turn a quarter of the game through, but nothing special to be awestruck. It kind of had me captivated a bit, but not to be at the edge of my seat, of pushing me like 100% to find out what happened next in the story. There are a few games that have done that in the past, and I can tell you that Mandragora is not one of them. Especially for the fact that I am obsessed with exploring each and every corner of the map in Metroidvanias, and therefore the story for me in Mandragora didn't quite cut it, especially that I found a few cliches in the story reminiscent of games that I won't be telling you, so as to not spoil the story of the avid story-obsessed gamers out there. Now, story for me, 8.3 out of 10. Wish I could have given more, but it is what it is. I haven't found a single game to this day in the Metroidvania genre to give it a solid 10 out of 10. Wish there was one out there that really packed a punch for me in terms of story, but haven't managed to find one yet. Overall rating of the game, 9.2. Really one of the best Metroidvanias I played recently apart from Silksong and Nine Souls. Game is $40. Worth it? Oh yes, and then some. If you're a Metroidvania fan such as yours truly, you'll be all like, shut up and take my money. It surely has enough content in the game to match your money's worth. If you're like jumping in and out of Metroidvanias, I would say wait for a discount on it. But hey, 9.2, I would say that shit is enough to get you buying the game even at full price. And furthermore, this game got a better review score than Ghost of Yote from my part, so it is what it is. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, gratitude is in order for watching. Always remember to uphold the honor of the samurai, the courage of the Spartans, and the relentlessness of the Vikings. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.